episode, and I am with Laura. It's good to have you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know your journey here was a bit higgy-hagger.
Oh, it was very somehow, but we're here.
You know what? I feel like the initiation process of this podcast, you need to have some sort of travel issue because with so many people have come here.
Yeah.
And there's always something that's happened or a delay with the train or traffic or whatever. But we've made it. Hopefully this is not a off-putting comment for other people coming through. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you're here. And
Thank
you was able
you.
to make
Thank
it.
you so much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Good, man. So we're going to jump straight in, right? First off, I want to know, who is Laura? Who is Laura? What is Laura? What does she do? Where is she from? All that good stuff.
Okay, so I am Laura Ehio. I am a singer-songwriter. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I write. I sing.
Putting you on the spot, innit?
So I do Christian music. That's my niche. That's my area.
We thank God. We thank
Yes,
God.
we praise God all the time. I'm a worshiper. I love to worship. That's where I started. That's
Love that.
what made me who I am today.
Love that.
And where am I from? I'm from London, but I am originally from Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You made a pit stop somewhere, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. So I was actually born in Ireland. A lot of people don't know, but I was born in Ireland.
You forgot to mention that when I asked you that earlier. Because you said that you moved from Ireland to...
Yeah.
But I didn't ask you, I guess, where you were born. You were actually born in Ireland?
I was born in Ireland.
Fair.
I was born in Ireland, lived there up until like 12,
Gosh. Accent's
13.
gone.
Yeah,
Finito.
accent is
Finished, man.
finished. Is literally, it's not there anymore. It's non-existent. And it's quite sad.
Yeah.
I
I
really
like the
wanted
Irish
to.
accent.
I know.
Could you do it? Like,
No.
could you put it on?
No.
Not at all?
Oh, I'm not going to embarrass myself. No.
No, but in your own space, could you do it? And
I would have
you'd
to
be-
practice.
Really?
Because the point where I realized when it was gone, so my close friend, like one of my closest friends, my sister, she lives in Ireland.
Right.
She's lived there, born there as well. So it was a long distance friendship. But I think we were on FaceTime. This was like years ago.
Right.
And she put on the British accent. And then I tried to put on the Irish accent and I couldn't do it. And I said, no. I said, impossible. And I had such a strong Irish accent. So like, imagine like the Cockney accent in the like,
In Ireland.
do you know what I mean?
Irish
But I
version.
had such a strong accent. So when I found this out, I was upset. So I muted it. I muted the call. She doesn't know this, but I muted the call. And I was trying to like...
Put it on.
And I was like, what? No, I was so upset because the British accent is nice to listen to, but...
For 5 minutes.
But I liked my accent and I wanted to have it. Do you know what I mean? So like, it was always a conversation style. Like, oh my gosh, like, where are you from? I could be like, yeah, I'm from Ireland. But now I don't have that anymore, which is really sad.
That's sad,
It's
man.
very sad. That's...
To be honest, I've got a little confession. I actually try and put on the Irish accent.
Oh dear.
I think my Irish accent is quite good. I was actually going to
Where
attempt
though?
it.
What part of Ireland?
You know what?
See,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing.
I don't. I want to say wherever Conor McGregor's from. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
So
Yes.
wherever he's from,
Dublin.
Dublin.
I used to speak like him.
I find that accent, it's just legit. Like, I love it. I think if you've got that accent, if you used to speak like him.
I used to know, like it was as strong as Connor, Mr. Just say Connor. It was as strong as his accent. But then
Jeez.
obviously, like when I moved here, I had to sort of dilute it because people didn't understand what I was saying, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like
Really?
how am I gonna survive in this country? But I had to like dilute it a little bit. So people could understand me.
Jeez.
And then I don't know, I think the British accent is really catchy because it's such a like tonal, like it's such a tonal accent. Like it sounds like you're singing half the time. This is coming from someone that didn't grow up or wasn't brought up in a British accent, but it's a very tonal and it's very very like la la la, like very tonal. And, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that Dublin accent can be very monotone if you're just speaking in a standard.
Really? I would have thought it's more. I would have thought it's more.
No, and that's where people go wrong when they try to imitate the Irish, because there's a lot of that, and there's none of that. There's none of that. It's quite monotone. So
Fair play. But you know what? What was your experience? What was your experience? I actually had another question I wanted to ask you. But I'm going to ask you this first. Okay. Right? What was your experience living in Dublin? Yikes, that doesn't sound good.
So when I was in Dublin, I lived in the very, very white dominance area. So racism was very much alive back then. To be honest, it was alive all over Ireland, to be very honest. And it still is now. It's not as bad as back then, but it definitely is still, like, it's shocking.
I said this to you earlier, but I am low-key shocked that you say that, because I find that they're quite friendly people, them. But
I mean, I'm not saying...
Not everyone, obviously. You can't put everyone in the same basket, but...
I don't know how to explain this one. Because, they can be nice, but there's just like... they're just racist. There's nothing else I can really say. I can't say all of them are, obviously. But like when I was living there, it was really bad. Like, as in, like, if they find out that you are a black person in that area, just know that your car will get spray painted. Your car they'll throw eggs at your car. They will spray paint your house, your door. Like, it was horror. It was horror. So it wasn't easy, but... yeah.
Spray paint. Do you say the car? I thought.
Oh, sorry, my phone just.
Would you say the car?
Yeah, the car as well. Yeah.
Did that actually happen to you guys?
Yeah.
That's so bad.
I know.
That's so bad. Would you say that like affected you in any? Of course, it's going to affect you when you're young. But like, would you? How do I word it? Was it like a massive thing for you, like, or would you just brush it off?
It was part of our daily lives, but it was something that a lot of people just brushed off, and you just had to like brush it off. Like, even in school, microaggressions were not very micro. It was very mega, or was the opposite of micro? I don't know, but it was very, very much there. Right.
That's a shame. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, like, but to be honest, because I was so used to it, I didn't see it as like anything like crazy. But I think I realized when I moved here, and it was just like, no one here would ever put up with that. Like, just know, like it's actually, you're done if you ever throw eggs at someone's car. And like,
again, though, that depends where you live, because I can imagine. Because you moved from Ireland to London, right? My experience has also been slight. I mean, I'm sure no one will put up with that in London, but certain areas in the UK can be a bit techie as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So as you go to the suburbs north, and villages and that, it can be a little bit different, but. But yeah, you realise that people don't put up with that naturally. From coming to UK. Yeah. So what was that like, moving from somewhere that was predominantly, racist to somewhere?
It was different. I remember just being shocked about how much black people was everywhere. And then when I moved, when I came to my school, I was shocked. It was just like, everyone was just so different. There was black people. It was very much predominantly black.
Not Asian there, or
no? There was Asian. It was quite very multicultural. My school, I think, and I'm quite grateful for that, because I'm really into like learning about people's culture you know, like, let me know about, you know, how do you say hello in your language? Your food, like what food do you eat there, or what's it like there, or do you know what I mean? Like I'm really into that. So being in a school like that was just so fascinating. Like I met people from Greece, I met people from Djibouti, I met people from South America, I met people like all these countries that a lot of people wouldn't know. Like I know, as for me, I know all of the countries. I know all of them. So it was just, yeah, it was really cool.
That's nice,
but that was a plus side. But the downside to it was moving from an area where there's where racism was such a big thing to moving to where you're surrounded by black people, which is great, but colorism now was such a big thing. So colorism was and it was such a new thing, because in Ireland, I wasn't in spaces like that where colorism could even be a thing. Because in Ireland, if you have a speck of black in you, you're done. If you're
finished, man.
Even European back then.
Really?
Yeah. If you were like Polish, and they knew, it was you.
Eastern European.
So man. It was really, really, it's quite peak in Ireland, but in England it was different, because it was like, this is not racism. This is like black people racism within the black community, and it was just like raw. Beast. Yeah, so that was like, wow. That was like, okay, this is new.
Listen,
you know, yeah.
It's interesting that you've mentioned that, because I had my own experience of that as well. And what's interesting as well, like I think I've got thick skin, you know, and I can take banter, I can give banter, but you know, growing up, you know, I don't know how it was for you, but sometimes it just feels like there's not that many boundaries or limits.
Yeah,
when
of course.
People are cracking jokes and stuff within the
black community. Yeah.
And people used to say all these jokes, you're blick, this, da, 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 da. And I used to give it back, obviously. I wouldn't just sit on it. I would just kind of brush it off. But bit by bit, it chipped away at my self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like legit. Like, and as I said, like I think I'm a pretty, you know, chilled guy, whatever. People think that, or people would say that I'm quite confident and whatnot. But deep down, like it did.
Yeah.
And how it translated in my actions and in my thought process was actually really interesting for me, because when it comes to like, you know, I started to think, no one is going to find me like attractive or this and this. And as soon as I started to get some attention from females, a part of me was like shocked, but part of it was like, I'm going to go full in, because like, I was like, no way. Yeah. Honestly, that like, when I think back as well, like there's other things, but when I think back, like that was one of the things that kind of enticed me to like kind of go in. I just thought that was really, really interesting.
Yeah,
I was
very
like,
interesting.
I shouldn't be, because I was kind of, my self-worth was like banking on if someone is interested in me and that. But when I look back, a big part of it is those seeds that people are planting. So I know I digress a little bit,
100%. I could write a book on this topic. Like I literally could. Like I remember when that shift sort of happened as well. I think it was 2015. Right. So I used to love drill. This was BC, before Christ. Okay.
What's that move that people used to do?
Yeah, I used to love drill back then. Harlem Spartans, right? They were very big back then, and they released a song. Like they're a group. They were a group.
Okay.
So they released a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but in that song, they mentioned the line "Chocolate Darling."
Right.
Then literally the whole of UK took a completely different spin, because if you're saying chocolate darling, you're not talking about a light skinned. You're talking about a brown skin, dark skin girl. So I'd be walking and I'm hearing chocolate darling on the street. I'm thinking, no, surely not. So I remember when that shift started to happen, and it was just like, now it's like, okay, cool, now you're getting attention, now you're even more respected. Like, for example, you know, if we're like going like out to places with your friends. And, you know, I went to an all-girls school, so a lot of my friends knew the guys from like their primary schools. I didn't go to primary school in UK, so I met a lot of my guy friends through my friends, right?
Right.
So it was like, okay, cool. If there's like birthday outings or even after school, chilling after school, it was like, you could tell that there was a lack of respect before that, just because of because of skin shade. And it was, 100%. Oh yeah, 100%. As a female as well, I feel like dark-skinned guys had it, obviously we went through the same experiences, but being a girl and dark-skinned was like, you at the bottom of,
Serious?
if there's a barrel like this, the dark-skinned girls are the floor.
Seriously? Serious? See,
Yeah.
why I'm shocked at that is because there wasn't that many of us here. So, but females, like I didn't.
Yeah,
think,
no, it was mad.
So what? Like when you say like respect it, well, like what do you mean?
So
'Cause
like
I'm trying to understand.
So okay, so let's say you're.
As in they would say things or what?
Say things, or like even like in the conversation, like being included in that conversation, it would be, I don't know, like little things. So I'm trying to
rate it, like
or like you know, like when people are just mean.
Yeah.
Like or like guys. So I've
and you think it was to do with the
it was. It 100% was. It wasn't even like a thinking or no, it was. And like so this is me not only coming off of my experience. So when I started to like go on social media more, I started to follow like Black Girl Magic. You know, when Black Girl Magic started to come out, it was around the 2015, 2016 era. So that's when the turnaround started. So I started to go on Instagram, and you know, there's pages for like dark skin models or like black girls, like posts or something like that. And it sort of opened my mind. Oh my gosh, like there's actual dark skin models. I didn't know there was like things like that. So went on those pages, and obviously they spoke about colorism, and that's when the word colorism started to come up as well. It's around that 2016 time. So so I would see like other girls like post about their experiences and how like if they're with a group of friends and a group of guy friends like approach, or like where they're mingling and just, you know, being friends, you would see that they would sort of be standoffish towards the dark skinned girls because the light skinned girls are there. It's literally fact.
Crazy.
Like it's literally fact. So
that's
it was
so ridiculous.
So or like if you're, you know, like how you can meet new people or whatever, you could just on a friendly thing. So there are certain girls, I think I've experienced this as well, because I've got friends that are, a lot of my close friends, some of them are light skin, or mixed race. But being with them, and let's say you're mingling with people, they will literally ignore you and only speak to the light. Like it's literally fact. It's literally something. When I say I can write a book about this thing. So yeah, it was definitely character building.
Right.
But it wasn't like, for me, it wasn't something that that I don't know, because I went through racism in Ireland. So this one was just like, but this one was, the colorism was a bit more confusing because it's coming from your own people.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
it's more. I would say it's more.
Yeah,
I would have thought it would be more of a shock, because
no, it was
in
it
a
was
sense
a shock,
at least
actually.
you kind of like expect it from maybe, you know, other races, whatever. But within the community, it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a hard. But I think it's society plays such a big
100%
factor in that, or
and
peer
media.
pressure, media.
Oh.
Because I'm telling you, like as you're saying this, obviously I'm shocked, because I'm like, if it was just to be there, I have met some beautiful dark-skinned people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not for me. It's just it doesn't. I struggle to comprehend the fact that someone would just not talk to you because they're dark-skinned and that.
Yeah.
I know I've put the element of like attraction and stuff like that, but like, do you know what I mean? Some people,
silly.
I know there's some guys that would not even even if this person looks like an angel, but because they're dark skinned, they wouldn't.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, 100%.
I find that crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's absolutely like I
find that crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. They will go for, obviously we're all made in God's image and everybody's beautiful.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I've seen guys literally like drool over girls that are light skinned. Obviously,
Go on.
again, they're not everyone is beautiful, fearfully and wonderfully made, but not as appealing to the
Natural,
to
beauty,
the eyes.
Yeah.
As like a dark skin girl, but because she's dark skinned, that's the only reason as to why they would just like. No, I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it come from dark skinned guys a lot more than
really
100% fact. I could write a book. I've got research. I've got receipts.
What would their reasoning be? Could you expose some of the reasoning for that?
I think it's how society saw dark skin in general, and they would sort of project that even more. So instead of them just receiving it and just keeping it, they would also try and be the funny guy or the cool, because it was funny to diss dark skin girls. It was like, oh, you're cool. Like, do you know, it was the thing back then. Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So it would be like, and the hatred was sort of built off of how society saw them, so then they would project that onto the females. So 100%. Like it was definitely more from dark skinned guys. Like I've literally in my presence, a dark skinned guy literally diss another dark skinned girl in front of me because she's dark skinned. But what did she do to you? Like what?
Did you say anything in that moment?
It was like,
or was it just you're so like desensitized? Like, oh, this is what happened.
It was quite. It wasn't even. It was quite. It was after the whole kind of turnaround thing. So it was maybe 2017. Like I remember everything by year. Like I remember everything so vividly. Yeah. It was around 2017. So by this time, the black girl magic trend, the melanin. This is when people found out about melanin, because melanin wasn't a thing before 2016, 2015. No one knew what that was. Melanin, black girl magic, chocolate darling, all of that. So when he said that, it was kind of like, whoa, I haven't heard this in a while. Are you insecure? You're insecure. So I just knew you're insecure because your mum's dark skin, your sisters are dark skin. So what are you talking about? So it was just like, so I just knew that majority of it was just from the self-hatred, because you can't hate on dark-skinned girls like that and still go home and eat your mum's food and live in your mum's house. You can't, how? And look at your mum and be like, yeah, mum, I love you, but she's a dark-skinned woman, but you're dissing other dark-skinned girls. It didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make, but I just, hey, you're insecure. Okay, I'll pray for you.
What would you say the narrative has changed now?
Yes, I think, yes, definitely. And to be honest, I feel like even back then, girls as well didn't really go for the dark-skinned guys back then as well.
Now it's different.
Yeah, so now it's like, there's a whole turnaround now. Like, oh, like I hear some girls not even trying to consider light-skinned guys now, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on here?
What happened 5 years ago, fam?
I don't exactly. couple years ago, it was not the case. It was not the case, but yeah.
See,
it's definitely different now.
I like that we've spoken about this, because for those that maybe have gone through it, and those that have participated, honestly, like it's a massive reminder that we should not be following the things of the world.
Yeah.
Because the things of the world, we're not part of this world, right? When we're like Christians, we should not be trying to follow these trends and this and that. We need to know what our identity is in Christ.
Yeah.
I think that's a massive thing. And I think if you're an ambassador of Christ, a representative of Christ, we need to push that as well with the people that are around us. I think one thing that a lot of us are guilty of is seeing something, or when people are saying something and just letting it pass. I've been guilty of that. So it's just a reminder of that. When these things happen as well, we need to do
Nip it
our
in the
part
bud,
to
yeah.
nip it in the bud and address it and be
Yeah.
like, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing, or
Yeah.
if it's your friend, whatever. Because as I said, we're called to be representatives of Christ, and we're called to push what the Word of God says and who we are, and we need to encourage other people as well.
Yeah.
And there may be people that actually needed to hear that from they're getting all
From
this
someone,
from
yeah.
someone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's crazy though, how trends are and how
It's insane.
it's crazy,
It
man.
is insane, and it just shows how like
Crazy.
people just follow, and even in obviously, sorry not to dwell on this. Sorry for dwelling on this for too long, but
not at all.
like even like I said, I could write a whole book. Like I could chat about this for ages. So being an African girl now in Africa or in Nigeria
Have you
specifically.
been to Nigeria, by the way?
Yeah, I've been once. I was 7 years old and I haven't been back since.
Can you
And it's
speak
so
your
embarrassing.
language?
No, I can't, but I understand it fully.
Okay.
But my parents never taught me. So I taught myself how to understand.
Okay, that's
So they
impressive.
never spoke to me.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So give me some
How do you say hello in your language?
War, yeah.
Well, yeah.
War, yeah.
I'm not.
War.
What? What?
So,
I have to do it.
war. Yeah, like, yo, whoa. It's not whoa.
It's not whoa.
War, yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah, war, yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's hello.
Yeah.
Sounds like
greetings.
a question, fam.
War, yeah. Yeah, like, is
what
that,
you saying?
sorry,
Like,
yeah,
is it-
that's like a how are you. So what's hello?
Hey, I'm testing you now.
Like, it depends.
Or is it just hi? Maybe.
Like, it's greetings. Like, it wouldn't be like a
right,
hello.
right.
Like, it would be like,
You would greet someone like
Domo.
that.
No, I would say, like, it depends on who you're speaking to. So if I'm speaking to, like, someone that's older, male, I would say Domo sa, which is
Okay.
like, I don't know what Domo means. It's like just greetings.
Right. I hear.
Or you would say good morning, good. Let me just think of my mom on the phone real quick. What would she say?
She'll speak to you when she's on the phone. She'll just when
When she's
she's
speaking to other people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she would just be like, she would say like good morning, good evening, good like afternoon.
Or good
That would
day
be
kind
the
of thing.
like that would be the hello, I think.
Fair.
I don't know.
I'm probably interrogating you. But back to the story.
Yeah, so in Nigeria, of course, bleaching creams were top seller in Nigeria, especially. So I think there was a year that Black China she launched her bleaching cream business, and Nigeria was like where the business started to boom.
Wow.
So of course, like in other African countries as well, but in Nigeria, hey, that's why a lot of the aunties they bleach, like they bleach.
That's
Caroline,
so bad. How, I'm asking the weirdest questions, but
Yeah.
how do you know if someone has bleached? Is it obvious or is it
For
not?
some people, not just Nigeria as well, in the Caribbean is very,
Yeah.
very,
what's his name? Vibes Cartel. Is it Vibes Cartel?
I think so. I'm not really into the
Shouldn't be saying
bashment.
it. But I know there's a big
Yeah, I think
artist that does that.
Or is it? Yeah, I think it's Vibes. Yeah, it is
It's
him.
Vibes, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's definitely a thing. Like they mix their chemicals. Like they mix it and they slap you on the skin. It's crazy over there. But
Jeez. Wow.
So in Africa in general, I think just looking lighter was just seen as more beautiful. Of course, I wouldn't know for every single country, but in the majority of the countries in Africa also thought this way. And even in Asia as well, colorism is such a big thing there. So my mum is light skinned. She's light skinned like naturally. Like my sisters look like her, and
You
they're
have to
also
say
like.
naturally
I
now.
had to put it out there because, like, you know, I
Just what
came
you
out
said.
dark skinned. My dad is a dark skinned man, and I'm my dad's twin. I literally look like him.
Is it?
Yeah. So obviously growing up within like having that colorism happening, I couldn't really speak to my mum about it because it's like you're a lie. You're actually lying. But so
You don't understand.
yeah, you don't
man.
understand. You can relate to me. But yeah, so it's definitely an issue in Nigeria as well. Like the aunties are also insecure because they're bleaching. Wow. It's like it's very peak. It's so sad.
It is sad.
It is.
Sad. It is sad.
Yeah. But
There
hey,
is it is sad.
yeah. But
Because
we thank God for change.
I think dark skin is beautiful.
Yeah,
I think
I do.
I really think. I think black. I think, to be honest, everyone needs to just rock their own
Yeah.
skin, man. Because there's so many forms of beauty. You should not be comparing yourself
No, yeah.
to other people. I think that it's just it's a mix of things,
Mm.
isn't it? Like, it is a mix of insecurity, comparison, media, all that. But yeah, man, as I said, going back to who you are in Christ, I know
Absolutely.
who I am.
No, literally,
Yeah, man.
just, knowing that your insecurities don't, like, your identity
shouldn't.
doesn't stem from your insecurities, like, just like, but I feel like today, now, it's not really an issue. It's not like colorism isn't as
I was back then.
oh yeah, not at all, nowhere near. Like, I feel like now,
Or maybe it is. Maybe you've just got older with the rest of the people and it's not become a thing. But maybe other. I don't know, I'm
younger
just
kids.
rebattling,
Because
maybe.
it's true. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like. I just feel like there's so many different changes with the younger generation.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
I feel I work in the youth ministry at my church, and I just you have to, like, I find that I have to be very intentional with trying to understand because what they go through is very, like, for example, knife crime.
Yeah.
We never had that growing up. No. I'm telling you. Maybe listen. Remember, I'm a bit old. Well, a few years older than you, right?
But
It makes a big
can
difference.
you tell the people where you resided? Just tell the people where you resided.
No, okay. Listen. Right, I'm not from London or Manchester or Brum. I'm not from them big cities. I am from outside of that. From Kent.
Kent.
Hey, I hear a tone of judgment there.
No, it's not judgment. It's just.
No. But listen. There has been a lot of knife crime, even here in Ashford.
Yeah.
Even here.
Yeah.
There's someone that. Anyway, I won't go into that.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of, like, knife crime here.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, when I was in school, if there was an issue or someone had an issue with someone, like, you knew in confidence. If they were going to fight, it would just be a fight, and someone won't.
Oh yeah,
brandish a
right.
weapon.
Okay.
But now, like, it's different. Even in Ashford, I feel like when there's a fight or something, there is in the back of your head, you're going to be thinking, this person might whatever. But what I was trying to say is that I feel like things have changed so much. With the younger
100%.
generation, and we don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's not a thing, an issue in terms of the colorism or whatever. But you might actually, you never. I don't know.
You actually don't know, and it might be because I've heard kids say just crazy things to even each other, and just pray for the children of this nation. In fact, the whole world, because like kids can be so unruly and just say anything, or they might see something from like a video on YouTube, and they might think it's cool, and then they carry that, and then they bring it into the school, and then now it's a trend, and like, so it's just And I'm talking from primary school, so
it's true.
Yeah,
man. And that's what's scary, but that's also what kind of sparks something in me in terms of, because so much influence and so many behaviors or characteristics or thought processes come from what they see on socials and stuff like that, on media.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's really, really important that as Christians, we need to do our thing on socials as well.
100%.
Because I'm not gonna have it and say, we need to follow what these. I think we can do. There's so many talented, creative people in the kingdom of God, and I just feel like we can do so much more.
Yeah.
Because when they look at, we need to be competing with the kingdom of darkness, if I can, if I can say to make sure that there is a lot of visibility and good influences, and do you know what I mean, on social media? Because Christians, non-Christians, whatever, they all are going to be mostly predominantly on socials, on TikTok, on whatever. So I think it's important for us to kind of take that responsibility and mandate to be like, yeah, let's do the thing and really help the younger generation, to be honest. But yeah, it's crazy that we've gone down this road because I remember I said I had a question for you at the beginning, and I still want to ask it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Some people have come on this podcast, and I always ask, who is this person? Who are you? What do you do? And a lot of people say, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter or rapper or whatever. Why do you guys say that? As in, like, would you say you predominantly, yes, you are a singer, you write your own songs and stuff, but is it a thing in the industry where people write songs for an artist? Do you do that for other people?
I'm getting into that. So the whole songwriting is a job in itself. So there are songwriters who are literally just songwriters.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when you go on Spotify and you look at song credits of a song, you might not just see the artist's name. You will see, well, most of the time you'll see loads of other people.
Really?
Yeah. So some people are literally hired to help write songs, and to be honest,
it's a big thing in the industry.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not just talking about gospel industry, I'm talking about outside as well. Okay. Like, especially outside the gospel industry, there's legit, it's literally a job. So
must kind of suck.
Sure. No.
Because
there's a lot of
singing
people,
the lyrics to your song.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want the fame and don't want they love the creativity of making something and sort of altering. Is that the word? Is that the English?
Yeah, I mean, altering is a word.
Altering. I said altering. Altering it, like sort of shaping it to suit the artist. And like a lot of people love that, the creative side, but don't want any of the fame. And to be honest, there's a lot of money in the songwriting.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, there's money. There's money.
Yeah. See,
there's money.
I would have thought that, because I see music as more than just music, and maybe I don't know, maybe I believe that probably you think there's, I don't know, everyone's different, but I think music, like there's a connection. Like the words, when it comes to writing a song, maybe someone is inspired, or if for Christian artists, the Holy Spirit is inspired to write a song, and I feel like there should be a connection with writing the song and how it's delivered. But maybe I'm wrong in thinking that maybe, you can be inspired to write something and then just get someone who has got the right voice, or
like
because I would struggle with that. Like if I've written something and I feel like I would want to sing it, right?
Yeah, but then you have the choice to keep it for yourself and just like, I don't know, but I don't know. I can't speak for every songwriter because I'm not really like, clued up.
Right.
Too tough. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, there's just some people that maybe they might even prefer a different voice on that song. Right. Like there are songwriters that don't know how to execute certain vocal abilities to, like, they might write it with a certain kind of voice in their head, and they know that this person will be the best person to execute it, so then they would submit it and hope that the person all the technicalities and stuff. So like it just depends, and if it's something that you don't want another person to sing, then I think the songwriters just don't bring it out unless you want to start being an artist. But I know for the most part, a lot of songwriters don't actually want the forefront. Or it's a lot of songwriters are artists, but they do the songwriting on the side. And to be honest, songwriters do need to be diverse as well. Okay. 100%. Because you could get called in for a rapper one day, then an indie artist the next, and then grime artist the next day, and it can vary. So it's quite fun trying to like fit it with the person and think of so it can be fun. So
would you say that's something that you would like to explore in the future? And second question is, what started first for you? The chicken or the... I'm joking. What started first for you? Was it songwriting or was it just singing?
First question was...
Can you see it?
Oh,
Can you
no,
see
yeah,
yourself
it's something
doing
I
that
already
for
do.
other people?
No,
For other-
it's something that I do already do.
Okay.
So I do like helping, because at the end of the day, if I do write for an artist, I know that their writing style will not be the same as mine.
Right.
So it's a thing where I'm there to help. I might help you add a sprinkle of Laura in there, but it's never gonna be a Laura Ehio piece because it's not me that's singing that song, or it's not. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like so it's usually the artist and the songwriter is usually songwriting together. Well, from my experience anyways. It is something that I definitely want to get into as well, because I do like the way I write. It's something that I'm very voice crack. Woo. It's something that I'm very passionate about. The way I write is so important. I try not to make it cliche, because it can, with a lot of gospel songs, I've heard there's some songs, right, with lyrics, and I've heard the lyrics before. Like, I've heard it time and time again.
They're
so
recycled, innit?
Recycled, and it's like, I know that God didn't create language for us to just be saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, we are allowed to be intricate and be interesting with our words and still deliver the same message. Do you understand what I mean? So
100.
I'm very much like, that's the one thing that I take pride in my writing. Like,
Did that come naturally, or was it just like you had to work on it as an art, or would you say it just comes like naturally? A bit of both.
A bit of both. I think it just, I started writing in like properly for myself 2020. Of course you write your songs when you're little, but it's just not making sense. But 2020, okay, cool, I want to do gospel music, but I want to make sure that it's not cliche and I'm not sounding like anyone else. Like, that's one thing that I make sure not to do. Like, I don't want to just be sounding like everybody, and you know the words.
You mentioned it downstairs, innit?
I think so.
You,
I'm not sure.
you know the way that how you view the music, you don't want it to just be, or am I going into something different here?
I think so. I don't know.
Let me keep.
I don't know.
No. I was going to go into the what you were saying about you don't want it to just be for Christians.
Oh, right. Yes, actually, that's another thing as well.
Okay.
So someone actually said to me, funny enough, I've heard so many comments about my writing that my songs, sometimes you have to dissect it. Or sometimes someone said to me that I write in King James. I said, yo, that's insane. I write in King
that
James.
should be a compliment, by the way, because writing in King James, if you read King James Bible,
no, that's insane. I said, yo, and to be honest, I write my songs so that when people catch it, it's like,
I like that. Because I like to use the terminology when, you've heard it, when someone's cooking,
Yeah.
They're cooking.
Yeah.
So I feel like with your music, it's like when you're making a music, you're cooking. And then when someone's listening to it, they're eating it. They're dissecting it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're breaking it down.
Yeah.
And I think there's some beauty in that, to be honest.
It's like giving people a puzzle, and like, in order to actually solve it, you have to make effort to do it. Like, I don't want it to be a thing where, because me, as much as I write, I listen to songs, but I don't listen to the lyrics majority of the time. This is with majority of, like, with all songs, like
beat first.
I'm a beat first,
same,
instrumental. What's the vibe? What's the vibe of the instruments?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? What's it giving me? Hence why when it comes to lyrics and trying to sing songs, I never know the lyrics unless I look up the lyrics on Google and learn them. But what was my point? My point was, like, writing like that sort of gives them something. Like you actually have to listen. I don't want you to just listen to the beat and just be like, oh, you know, your song is a vibe. I love it. Like I kind of, so when I released Pumpus, it was some people were like, would say to me, oh, like the song is a vibe. Like, you know, they knew it was a gospel song, but I knew they didn't know about what my song was about, right? Because you just said it was a vibe. And of course, thank you. Thank you, because, you know, we put in effort in the vibe to make sure that it was a vibe. But I knew that you didn't catch it. You didn't catch it.
That's so interesting. I like that you said
you didn't catch it.
You'd be able to tell which one I've really listened or not.
100%. You didn't catch it. And it's like, oh, you know, oh, thank you. Like, I'm grateful, obviously, for the compliment, but it's like, oh, damn, you didn't catch it. And that's the joy in it. I want you to see the Jesus revealed within like, I want it to be so like, do you know what I mean? Because sometimes, even when I read my Bible and, you know, I'm clocking things, like that's how I feel when I read the Bible. So I wanted to, that same kind of feeling when it's like, oh my gosh, I just clocked where she's got that from. Wow. It's in Psalms, da-da-da-da-da. Or, you know, so I love that. I love it. But some people may disagree. They might think, oh, you're just making it hard for people to understand the gospel. But hey, everyone has their own writing style. So
I love that. I love that, man. Yeah. Jeez, okay. And I don't know if you answered this, but I will leave. This will probably be the last question. Most probably, I hope. Well, it depends. But yeah, let's. But where did it? Was it singing?
Oh yes. The second question.
It
was singing.
So you didn't start off with writing. It was like
it was singing.
Just singing. Yeah.
Yeah, singing all the time.
Just because you've been surrounded by you. That's what you did.
Well, like when I was younger, no. It wasn't until I moved to England that I was like, oh, hello.
Wait. As in, you like singing, or you found out, I can sing?
No, it was more, I wasn't surrounded by the music and the singing until I moved to England.
Right. Okay, so but before England, you were still singing.
I was still singing. I was known as the student that in primary school that likes to sing. You know, like who's the best at music? Oh, Laura. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, who's the best at sports? There will be someone there. Or who's the best at drawing? There will be someone there.
Right.
But I wasn't really like in a choir when I was young, or in like surrounded by other people that liked to sing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just like learning, and just, I loved Beyonce, and I loved, who else did I like at the time? It's changed now. I don't listen to Beyonce anymore.
Glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, I don't listen to Beyonce anymore. But back in the day, like she was the it girl. Do you know what I mean? And R&B back then was you know what I mean? It was it was off the chart. So yeah, so I kind of learned from that. And then obviously when I moved to England, that's when I developed. I feel like that's where I really developed. And it was like, oh, you know, I found out, okay, you actually like can sing. This is coming from older people now that can sing. Like when I joined my youth in my old church, I was the youngest in the choir. I've always been the youngest in like different spaces like this. But they could sing. And I was like, wow, because I've never heard this before.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? In real life. Did you get what I'm saying? So obviously getting compliments from them, it was like, wow, maybe I can sing. So it definitely started off with singing, and then writing came like way later, like even around 2020. Yeah, I was forced to.
Then, huh?
Yeah, because in college they were trying to force us to write, and I said, oh damn, okay, cool, let me just write something. But I kind of liked it. Yeah.
Fair play, man. Fair play, featuring little Naya there in the background. But no, you know what? I've really enjoyed the conversation, man.
Yeah.
I actually have, just to get to know you a little bit more. I've got so many other questions as well, but we'll leave it for another time. We'll leave it for another time.
Yes.
But no, honestly, it's been a pleasure. And just to get some insight on even your upbringing and some of the things that you face, honestly, I really didn't think it would go down that route. That's what I like about just natural conversations.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think it's going to be really beneficial for some people who are going to be watching.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man, is there anything that you would want them to check out in terms of your music as well before we log off on that?
Yeah, I mean, check
plug
out my
yourself
stuff.
in, innit? Of
Yeah,
course.
at Laura Ehio, Laura Laura Ehio on everything. Check out my stuff on YouTube,
Your Laura Ehio on what,
Instagram, TikTok.
You got a YouTube channel as well?
Yeah, I've
You
got
actually
stuff
do
out
that?
on YouTube.
Okay, I need to check some of that out because I haven't.
Yeah,
to be
check it
honest.
out.
Yeah,
Check it out. Let me know,
Yeah,
how you
man.
find it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just keep an eye out for this year.
Big year for you?
By the grace.
By the grace of God.
No,
man.
yes. I'm
Yeah.
going to say yes. And yeah, it is. It has to be. We're going bigger and better than last year.
That's it, man.
Yes.
Kingdom building as well.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Kingdom
Doesn't
business.
stop. Doesn't
Yes.
stop, man. But guys, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much once again for coming through.
Thank you for having
and
me.
yeah, catch you guys on the next episode.
Yes.
Peace.